Welcome to the Untitled Podcast. I am one half of your host, Stonewall Craft, alongside my boy, the great Cochino, Lorenzo Rocha. What up?
What up, my guy? Back to the grind.
Back to it, dude. I don't even know. How's work been? I've just been grinding work.
Dude, we're so ready to be back in Bloomington. We only got a week left. We can do it.
And breaking news, ZNC is now open.
Oh my gosh, it's a game
Breaking
changer
news.
for you. I don't really care.
Yeah,
honest.
because you have this weird thing where you just don't like Asian food
cuisine
for some reason.
What's wrong with that?
It's childish, first of all.
Do you like peanut butter? That's pretty childish, let's be honest.
I feel like that's the opposite of childish.
Who doesn't like peanut butter?
That's a child's meal.
Who said it had to be a meal, bro? It just is great on so many things. Or even by itself.
Okay, listen. If push comes to shove and I have to eat like a PB&J, I'll do it. But you just don't
Push comes to shove and I gotta eat freaking Asian noodles, I guess I do it. But I'm not choosing it over anything.
Because you're a child. When you went to the Chinese buffets, dude, you just get the American stuff. That's why you're like, ew, because Chinese food.
Because
you're a child.
I don't like the flavors.
What don't you like?
Just the way everything tastes. It's
you're
weird,
so
bro.
Stupid, bro.
No. How does that make me stupid? Because I don't like the way something tastes?
Listen.
I've tried it.
When's the last time you had it?
Probably 10 years ago.
Okay. Your taste buds change.
I don't care.
I just want you to realize, bro, you are just like not experiencing such a good, I don't even know, bro. A whole section of the world's cuisine.
I really don't care. I'll stick to my section of the world's cuisine.
Go with me to get ZNC once, bro. Once. No. I will pay for it, bro. If you don't like it, if you don't like it, bro. I was literally
just about to say.
If you don't like it, I was
about to say, even if you offer to pay, I'm not.
Listen,
going. How much
if you don't like it, we could just stop somewhere else and get something to eat.
No,
for you.
I just don't. I know
I will pay for 2 of your meals. You know you won't like it. You haven't had it in 10 years. Like 2010? How old were you in 2010? 8?
It's an estimate, bro.
8?
It's an really? Did you just say 8? You think I'm 18? Moron.
Oh, even worse, bro. No, dude, I bet you haven't had it since you were 8. On God.
No, my parents have it all the time. So I know I've had it. 10 was probably an overestimate. I honestly don't know because that's how little it stands out to me.
You haven't had, dude.
I don't care, dude. I will stick to
spicy
the
mayo.
Foods that I like. You stick to the foods that you like.
I just don't get it. You are just totally amputating yourself in your diet. This is from great foods. Just amputating that part. Great. You haven't had it in 10 years. You don't know if you don't think it's great.
I don't know if I've had it in 10 years, bro. I just said that because that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Then, hey, you went with your instinct, and that's probably what's right.
Might be. I'm not saying it's not.
Just have it, bro.
But what I am
Chinese
saying
food,
is
come on. Why don't you want it?
Enough.
What if you like it?
But I know I won't.
You don't know that.
But I do, dude. Stop.
Don't know that.
Bro, when I freaking smell that stuff, it makes me want to vomit. So why would I eat it?
Why does it make you want to? Did you throw it up before? Like, what happened? Get sick from it?
I actually did get sick from it.
Would you have like a crappy egg roll?
The last time I remember getting sick off of it was in, I think it was like 5th or 6th grade. It was like right before Christmas, literally on Christmas Eve. Or not Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas Eve. Well, so I used to eat like, I don't know, whatever the fried chicken is, however they fry it. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's like fried chicken, but it's like
chicken. Like
no, it's fried.
Yeah,
you dip it in sweet and sour sauce.
Ass.
Used to eat that, and then I'd also eat like we call them like party noodles. So like whatever sauce is on those freaking noodles, nasty. And then
like it's not all the same, right? Like
fried rice. I
just
don't
because
like
you
fried rice
didn't
at
like the
all.
shitty Chinese food from Napanee doesn't mean
I don't like fried rice at all. I don't really care for teriyaki. That's
what's
what
not
you
to like.
always
What's not
freaking
to like
get.
about fried rice?
Don't like sushi. I don't like fish. Well, I do like fish, but I don't like it in that cuisine.
Sushi's totally different. That doesn't.
It's
I can
still
understand people
I
not
lump
liking
it.
sushi.
I lump it in with it.
That's close-minded.
Second,
Your pea
I
brain
ate
can't
fried
comprehend.
I ate fried shrimp. I threw everything up. And since
So you
then,
don't like fried shrimp?
no, I don't like anything Asian.
Whoa. That's a soundbite right there.
Let's not
In like 20
let's
years.
not take that out of context. Not take that out of
Like
context. We're
20
talking about
years.
foods.
Well, you're stupid.
All I gotta say is I don't understand why you're arguing with me, dude.
Well, I don't understand why you just like cut yourself
I don't
off.
understand why you don't like peanut butter.
That's like such that those aren't even the same. That's
Dude,
like
there's so many foods that you don't like that literally why don't you like them?
Like
You're
what?
like, "Oh, I just don't like them." Like Greek yogurt, why?
I could eat Greek yogurt. I just would rather not. I'd rather eat something
Okay.
else.
I can eat Chinese food or
No,
Asian
no.
cuisine, I just would rather
If
not.
somebody was like, just put like a Greek yogurt thing in front of me, I'd be like, well, do you have Yoplait? That'd be my first question. Do you have Yoplait strawberry? No?
I wouldn't eat it.
I'd eat it.
No, you wouldn't. Shut up.
If
You
that's
would
all
literally
we had,
throw it
bro,
away.
come on.
Or you'd leave it there and just let it mold.
It's already moldy.
Exactly.
Greek yogurt is nasty, but that's totally different. It's not. I'm not like. I'm not gonna have yogurt. Like that's what you're doing. You're just cutting yourself
I'm not
off
gonna
from
have
yogurt.
Chinese food.
They're not even the same, bro. Not even comparable.
Yeah, no, of course they're not the same. Yeah, they are comparable because it's a food that you don't like, so you're not gonna eat.
That's a food I don't like. It's not a subcategory of food. It's not a whole category of food I don't like.
Okay, so you're saying I can't do that?
No, there's a line. That's the line.
I'll stick to my everything else cuisine.
Yeah. You're just not getting the most out of your life. Point you know.
Fine by me. I settle.
If that's how I settle. Ain't that the truth? If that's how I live my life one day, just kill me. Just off me. Okay. What are we talking about, Rich, today? What are we talking about?
Well, I don't know. Honestly. What's been going on with you?
I mean, I've just been working a lot. Honestly.
Fall Guys?
Been playing a lot of Fall Guys with Gabe.
I heard that game's kind of buns.
What? Says
like,
who?
Well, just from things I've seen, it's like really like you're not doing anything other than avoiding people the whole time.
Play it. It's pretty addicting. Like, because I mean, it's kind of set up like it's kind of like Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
Gang Beasts Royale is basically what it is. Like, there's these different, like, obviously there's some game modes that come up that I just despise. Like
there's different game modes. There's not just like one.
And so there's like those avoiding like race things that you like. That's the main thing for them. But then there's like tail tag where you try to like take people's tail and stuff. And then there's like a soccer one. I mean, it's pretty cool. I feel like people that criticize it honestly haven't really played it. Like, haven't sat down and played it for like an hour. Like, if you play it with people, dude, it's hype. Like, me, Cabe, Sean were playing. It was pretty cool.
That's what's fun. That's what makes games fun to me. Unless I'm playing like, Cyberpunk's gonna come out. I don't need anybody to play that game.
No, that's
obviously
like
you get immersed. But if I'm playing anything multiplayer, like obviously you need to play it with friends. It just makes it better.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, when we play COD and you get upset because you're not doing good, I'm like, bro, it's still fun. Especially when
I
we go
don't
in.
have fun when I'm not doing well.
I know, but it's the same concept.
I think I
It's
get that
still
from
fun.
Nate. I played with Nate for so long, like me, Nate, Cave. That was the trio for so long, and we just had to be popping off to have to be like, I don't know, man. The highs have been so high that like,
Yeah. You
and
know,
we always
I
played
just
like
never
competitively.
really
You know what I
played with
mean?
people. Yeah, I just never really played with people very often, especially like multiplayer competitively and stuff. You did, or at
Dude,
least
Black Ops 2, I had
whatever.
25
Really, never
days on
got
that
into it.
game, all league play. Swear to God,
Yeah, never
all
got
league
into
play.
competitive Call of Duty, so I've always just been playing pubs, and I don't know. I just enjoy having. I could go. Probably not like 0-40, but I could do really bad, and if I'm playing with people that are also having a good time and don't really care and just having fun, still fun, especially when you just trash talk the other team the whole time. That's what I was doing with Xavier playing 12v12 Search. Is so fun.
Well, I mean, so when I first started playing COD, I was kind of like that, but like then like Nate, I'd always play with Nate. He'd go crazy. Cabe would go crazy. So I always felt like that I had to play like at that level. And then if I play with Josh, bro, like he's insane. So like I felt like I always had to like, I don't know, it's just super competitive with me. Like I always had to play to that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, different breeds.
Yeah. Some people have the
I mean,
mono
I can be
mentality like
competitive.
me, but I guess you're just,
No, no, no.
you're
That's
Paul
not what I'm
George
saying.
running from the
I'm saying
grind.
if I'm in the mood, don't. If I'm in the mood to play competitively, yeah, I'm gonna be in it. But if I'm like with Warzone, Warzone is the one game mode that I cannot stand doing bad at.
Really?
But
Because I feel
if
like
I'm
that's the
playing,
one where I like if I'm doing bad, I feel like I kind of understand that, but it still pisses me off. Like
it pisses me
obviously.
off more than multiplayer. As I go into pubs and I'm just like, all right. I mean, I'm gonna do good most of the time. There's gonna be games where I do bad, but that's not like
I
it's
just
not ruining
figured
the
out
game for me.
why I feel like I always have to do like when you play competitive, like when you play game battles, right? Like S&D, and we do pretty well. So like if you played that, like and you competed at that level, like you're kind of expected to go off against like regular pub players. You know what I mean? Like regular public match
Yeah.
players. Like that's just kind of what's expected. So I don't know. Like if you do bad in a pub and you're say I'm queuing up with the people that I play, like that I'm about to play a game battles thing with, like, and I go like double neg, they're gonna be like, this dude's ass. And they're probably right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you go now, it's different because skill bitch matchmaking, but back then, bro, you should be able to poop on basically every lobby you go into. You know what I mean?
Old days.
Yeah. Now, like, if I so we were playing a lot of like the livestock, like the 3v3.
Yeah.
If we play that and I go like +5 or something, like I feel pretty good because that game I feel like is
Oh
so
yeah, dude. When me, you, and
like
Caleb were playing that,
that was
it
really
was
fun.
that was fun. I was taking that seriously.
But
Well,
think
most
about that like like that fun you had playing that. Just imagine doing that for 10 hours a day on a game like Black Ops 2. You know what I mean? Just like Hardpoint in Black Ops 2 was and CTF. Both the respawns were so fun, and then the S&Ds, like I was pretty good at S&D, not gonna lie. Like especially 4v4. So I don't know. It's just different. It's not the same. And I'm older.
basically, I'm just saying I can enjoy competitive and casual.
I can't, bro. Anyway, I don't even know how we started talking about that. Oh, talking about Fall
Fall
Guys. Is that
Guys.
what started?
It was Fall Guys.
We should rename our podcast just like the Tangent or something like
Nah, I like Untitled.
that.
It's broad.
Even though we basically just talk about the NBA.
Like a broads in Atlanta.
So, have you seen that meme? It was like Dior by Pop Smoke, like when it's in 2K and like half the songs like blurred out, not blurred out, but like just silent because you can't say all that stuff. I was in the back. Well, anyway, I was in the back, and like my boss that runs footwear, he was like playing music, and I was like, "Oh, this song's dope," and then it's just like all bleeped out. And I'm like, "Oh my god, really?" When I play music
Why do
back
I
there,
have to listen to you?
I let it hang, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, I do. When I'm in the back at Target, sometimes backstocking, I'll just put my phone on and yeah,
Let it
I just let
hang,
it
bro.
swing.
Do you guys at Target? Do you guys have people that mainly do like ship from store stuff?
Yeah,
That's what I do all day.
they have they have guys that people that go out and like pick orders and get them like shipped out or get them ready to
Dude,
be shipped out or whatever. And then there's the employees that work on the floor.
I bet Target ship from store is crazy. I bet they're
Yeah,
just
it
like
was crazy, dude. When campus was first closed down and stuff, and everyone was staying at home, it was
just
pretty
ordering shit.
crazy.
I mean, I haven't had a day where it's just been like insane yet. And I feel like we're like it's pretty lenient at like Dick's. Like if you don't get it done that day, it's not really the end of the world because it just kicks over to the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like we're not dealing with as many orders as Target is. No shot. No shot.
Well, the crazy part is the Target, not only do they ship from store, but they also have like in-store pickup. So that's
Yeah, we
another
have
thing
that
that they have
too.
people to do. There's so many people that do the in-store pickup too.
Bro, so many people do it at Dick's too, but that kind of makes sense. Like if you're ordering a treadmill, like I'm not trying to go in and like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be
Have
like
that
pull up
ready.
curbside, dude. Just put it in. But some people like today, no lie, it was a Yeti like Rambler cup. And
Really.
I'm just like that stuff like that all the time, like a pair of shorts, like one person had. I'm like, you like
I mean,
really?
if you can, might as well. It's just
But my whole thing
convenient.
is like, why don't you just get it shipped to your house? Like, like if you're
Well, what if they
driving
want
here
to?
anyway, you might
Yeah, I'm
as well
saying
go get
that's
it. I get it doesn't cost anything extra, so I mean,
exactly. So if I want it that day, and I can save 5 minutes by not getting out of my car, or at least, I don't know. Do they do it where they just drive up, or do you have to go in?
they just it's whatever. Like some people just come in, like you can drive up to the curb.
Well, if I can save 5 minutes not looking for it, then
Yeah, you're right. That makes sense, bro. You're right. You're right. You're so right, dude.
society.
You want to jump into sports, or you got anything else?
Now I'm just trying to get through the last couple and a half, whatever you want to say. I don't know why I said couple, but the last of this stretch of work, so I can move in. I'm so ready to be independent. I mean, I
Dude,
already am,
what do you
but
know what building you're in?
no. Okay, so the weird part. First of all, I don't remember if I've already said this on the pod, but my rent was like $1,000 or something. Did I say that last week?
No, I don't think so.
I
Maybe you
checked
did.
I checked on the resident portal, blah blah blah. My rent was like $1,000. Called him. Like, "Oh yeah, you can pay the 670 and we'll get it fixed, blah blah blah." I still haven't paid it, but I got on to check again and it says 690 and they double charged me for the larger room premium. So I'm like, "You
What?
guys literally suck."
Oh, because you
But
have a bigger room than Zave.
yeah, so I have to pay like an extra $20
What
premium
are
or
you paying?
whatever. 670.
Oh, and you're gonna have to pay utilities. It's just electric. Like our electric bill is like $100.
Yeah, and that Target will take care of that easily. I'm gonna pay off of my rent with Hollywood money.
All of it?
Well, at least through December, and then whatever I work on that mid break, couple months break thing from campus, gonna pay for the spring.
Dude,
That's my plans.
trying to save up for the PS5, dude.
Yeah,
Not gonna go well.
hopefully Target can come in there without having to pay rent because that's a big deal. Like that's a big thing for me because the past couple years I've been living paycheck to paycheck, paying my rent that way,
Same.
and having that taken care of for the fall
Yeah,
is
that's gonna
like
be huge.
it's gonna be wild.
Which probably you should have been doing that like the last couple years, but I should have done
Well, the
that the
past
last
couple
couple years too.
yeah, past couple years honestly, it's probably smarter what I did, which was put money towards school so I didn't have to take out the loans.
Mhm.
But I just didn't wanna live like that this year, especially paying even more money
Yeah.
than we were. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to move in, dude. That's pretty much it.
Oh, dope.
Oh,
Dope.
and I'm not gonna lie, dude, I've become almost GOAT status on Tory Lanez part on What's Poppin'.
On What's Poppin'?
Yeah, the What's Poppin' remix.
Nate thinks he's the
Literally.
worst part of that remix.
Who?
Nate. I think that's what he said.
Well, I was with Nate when I freaking rapped it on Saturday, and he in shock.
Really?
Yeah,
I kind of want you to
it's
do
pretty
it,
dope.
but I don't know. I don't really want that
We'll
in my
we'll
life.
have to nah, we'll have to get drunk so it hits better.
Dude, Lil Wayne, go right. Okay. Anyway,
So good.
I was just thinking the What's Poppin' thing.
Oh, MGK too, dude. Have you listened to those MGK songs
I
that
don't
came
really like
out?
his flow, if I'm being honest.
Well, so this is a different MGK. It's like more alternative style. I don't know if you're like into alternative music at all, but it's kind of like a little more alternative. Like I don't know if you want to say punk, but
Ooh, edgy.
it is kind
Is
of
it
that's a
Sad
better
Boy?
word. It's edgy. No, not really. It's up. They're upbeat songs. At least the released like 3 from his new album that's gonna come out in about a month.
Is it like
And dude,
Lil Peep?
no,
Not as Sad Boy.
nah. But I don't even know how to explain it, dude, because I'm not good with words. But all I gotta say is
I'm kind of stupid.
my ex's best friend and Bloody Valentine. Those
Oh,
songs
that's a
rock.
song. I was like, you're about to talk about your ex's best friend? Like, what are you
No,
doing?
those are songs. Those songs bop. I was listening to them today while I was running. It's like It's like from a couple years ago when I would listen to Biebs in the Trap while I was running, dude, and I just hear Nav's voice, it, like, giving me energy. It was such a weird feeling, it just juiced me up, and then I hear Black Bear go in on my ex's best friend, and I'm like, "It just juiced me up, bro."
um, I was like me and Peyton have been working out a little bit. Like at the gym here is really nice, by the way, really nice.
Yeah.
Um, and I was doing like the leg press only goes to like 235, so I was just doing that. But like the next day, I walk at work. I walk so much at work. I walk probably 10 miles at work. My
Yeah,
ass
same.
hurt so bad.
Bro, that's why I wanna work out my legs, but I don't because I know what I do at work, and I don't wanna have to deal with sore legs ever, even though I already do because I run a good amount, and that usually has my legs
Yeah,
sore almost every day. But I don't
you're
need,
not gonna
like, a
catch me
leg
running, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
dude, literally, I've been running all summer, and it's just now starting to become enjoyable.
That's tough, bro.
So, it's already been, like, a 3-month grind of just running because I need like, I'm forcing myself to. And now I'm
Yeah,
starting
I'm
to hit the
cool.
point where I'll start off running at, like, 7.5 miles per hour, and then about a half mile in, my legs will be limber, and then I'll just take off, bro.
Schmil,
And I'll just it
little
just feels good.
Schmills on the bike.
He's I've never seen a man grind something more than that man grinds out on that bike.
Well, he's like, dude. I mean, I'm sure he was like me. He was like, dude, I'm not running. And those
He
bikes at
was
Planet Fitness are
he
nice.
was on the treadmill for, like, the first couple times we went, but then I think he learned his lesson when he first sat on the bike and was like, "Wow, life's
I
changing."
can do this for like double the time and basically do what I was doing like treadmill. Feel that? The bike's dope. All right, let's jump into sports. Kind of just been shooting the shit for the past 24 minutes. Okay.
I love it. Alright,
College
so
football in shambles. That's the headline.
literally
College football in shambles. The Big Ten not playing till spring. Use Pac-12 apparently.
potentially
They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna. Like you can't drop a bomb like that and then like kind of walk it back. I don't think they're playing. So
No, I'm saying they're not gonna play in the fall. I'm saying
Oh,
hopefully they'll play
yeah.
by the spring.
But like honestly, what's gonna change by the spring? You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's
I
why
saw people projecting this till 2022. Like that's in 2 years.
New Zealand has 0 cases in 100 days.
Thanks, Donald. Nah, that's not the Donald.
Put the blame where it belongs.
So this sucks because obviously big fan of
This was
Michigan.
Michigan's year.
It
It was their
wasn't. I'll tell
year.
you that right now. I had zero confidence going in the season. You know, just when Ohio State dicks you down every November, the past 10 years, you just become numb to it. Like last year,
Bro,
bro, I was literally sitting there. There was no reaction from me. I was just
yeah.
so
You were
like
pretty
I was
you
so
were
numb.
I thought you were just dead in your seat.
I the problem is, bro, it's always they're not gonna play if they do play in the spring, they're not playing at the end of the year. The problem is like I always see a full season's work and then I see Ohio State's full season and I'm like, dude, I think they can beat them. It always gets to that point. Like last year, not so much. Like that last year I was like kind of just expecting them to get beat down. But just every year, just the cycle flows, and they just
Yeah.
blow it every year.
That must be what it's like to be a Bears fan, dude.
I don't think it's I don't think you understand, bro. Like from the outside looking in, Michigan's whole season revolves around that game.
Yeah, I do
Literally
understand
the
that.
whole season. I can't even think of anything else. Maybe like Real Madrid, their whole season revolves around like beating Barcelona, but even then, they can win their league without beating Barcelona. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was like kind of listening to some stuff and just things I had, picked up on in the past few years. Michigan obviously hired Jim Harbaugh to beat Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
Like that's their
Well, I
that's their
mean,
goal.
yeah,
And you're looking like there's rumors of him potentially being out with Michigan, blah blah blah. Does Michigan want to get rid of him? I'm like, this is probably the most successful Michigan's been in a while, like overall.
yeah. That's
And
just
you're gonna
people
throw that
being
away because
selfish. Like,
you're gonna throw that away because you can't beat Ohio State. I get that. That's a huge game, but
but that's the thing,
you
bro.
gotta
The
give
fact that even people are considering
the dude
firing
some
Jim
time.
Harbaugh.
Like he's 5 years in. Yeah, okay, that's a decent amount of time, but you're having relatively sustained success. Why would you throw that for something unknown?
That's the thing. Like, that's how deep it is. Like any other program, bro, he's getting praise for what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he's getting praise for turning like those Rich Rodriguez years, those Brady Hoke years. There was one good season in those 7 years of coach, like in that 7 year span after Lloyd Carr left. Like that's one good season. They won the Sugar Bowl, and that was when Ohio State got sanctioned to hell, and they didn't have any scholarships, and I don't even know who their coach was. It wasn't Urban Meyer, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Like they were unranked going into that game, and that game was still kind of close. It's just so like in their heads. Like it gets to a point where you're like, why are we like? You just got to reevaluate the whole thing. Like, what are we doing? You know,
Yeah, just pick a better rival like IU or something.
or just like I'll tell you, I know this for a fact, bro. That game means way more to Michigan than it does to Ohio State. Like,
Oh yeah, because they're always losing.
and like, if you're Ohio State, I don't even think you respect Michigan anymore, like as an opponent.
You really don't, because did you hear about that little Jim Harbaugh Ryan Day beef?
No.
Okay, so Jim Harbaugh basically was calling out Ryan Day for like not abiding by COVID rules, like they were having coaches like with players like running drills or whatever. Like I think it was without a mask or something. And Jim Harbaugh like called that out. There was like some conference call or whatever. And apparently this is just reportedly Ryan Day told his team after that. Well, so he told Jim Harbaugh, "You worry about your team, I'll worry about mine." Then reportedly, Ryan Day told his team that they're going to hang 100 on Michigan this year. After he said that, I was like, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't either. Like, that's the thing.
But
Like, they
that just goes
always
to show, like, they literally say they're gonna hang 100 on him, and they can, or
like
it's in our heads that they can.
like it's like it's kind of like a. So Michigan always like they had the revenge tour a couple years ago. I was all about it. Like, oh, they're beating all these teams that they lost to last year. Ohio State's next, and then like they beat them, and then like, oh yeah, how's your revenge tour? Like, it's just one sentence, bro, and like that's all that was to them. You know what I mean? Like, that's all the revenge tour was to them. But it was like a whole season's like motto for Michigan. But for Ohio State, it was just like poking fun. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, I don't know how to explain. But
I don't know. I just feel like Michigan, like you said, that's probably Michigan's biggest game of the season all year.
yeah,
So they win
like,
that.
it doesn't
They win
matter.
that. That's like their national championship.
Yeah.
Whereas Ohio State is just literally looking for a national championship.
And they're looking past the mission. Like, they're going into that game, but they're not like, they're looking through them, you know? They're like, because usually they have the division tied up by that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's just like been kind of close. It was kind of close when Jim Harbaugh first got there, and then it just progressively.
JT was short.
He was, first of all. JT was short. I mean, not even close, bro. How do you make that call?
All right, we don't gotta get into this. Okay, we've gotten into this at least 5 times, and every time it's the same.
Anyway, it's been a trying time as a Michigan fan. Let's just say that. And maybe that they don't play this season's for the best.
With this news, there are teams that still want to play, obviously, in the Big Ten. I haven't really heard anything from the Pac-12. But on the Big Ten side, I know Nebraska has been like adamant about playing this fall. And the coach, I don't know if you saw this, he had a press conference and publicly said that he will look to play outside of the conference if possible.
Okay.
And okay, I get that, but I don't care. But I'm saying he said that. Not only did he say that, he said they had the support of the university, meaning like the president and athletic director, everybody was on board with it. So I get it's Nebraska. I don't care about Nebraska. I don't even know why they joined the Big Ten to begin with.
I don't know.
But do you think that has enough, like, I think that's a big deal, like them leaving to go play in another conference potentially. I don't even think it's possible. But
no, I mean, the big thing would be if like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, like if one of them said we're gonna go play, but that's when the Big Ten would drop the hammer and be like, no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's one of those things. Programs. It's not a big deal till it's a big deal. You know, like if I'm the Big Ten and I hear Nebraska say that, I'm like, okay, that's not gonna happen. First of all, but like, there's not gonna be a ton of like the University of Nebraska's AD is gonna call me the next morning. Cool, I don't care. But
that's how I was thinking of it too. Like, it's just the teams that have clout would receive clap back, but Nebraska honestly should have just stayed in the Big 12.
Was that what they were in? I don't even know, bro.
Yeah, or whatever it was called at the time. I don't even know what
it was called at the time.
Always been the Big 12. Then yeah, they left, and now that's apparently the favorite spot for them to play this fall if it happens.
So, and the thing is, I think Nebraska needs to realize, like, the Big Ten only brought you in so they could have a championship game. You know what I mean? At the time of them coming in, you literally couldn't have a championship game if you didn't have 12 teams. Big Ten always had 11. Like, and they had 10 for the longest time, you know? So they needed one more team to get to 12 to have a championship game because they saw the SEC, like everyone's saying the SEC is the best conference, like the Big 12 has a championship game. the Pac-12, they were going to be the Pac-16. Like they were gonna have a championship because of the Pac-10 for the longest time. So the Big Ten had to like kind of. I think they just Nebraska needs to realize they're lucky to be in the Big Ten. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and then I'm gonna ask you something. What are they gonna do about a national championship if some play in the fall and some play in the spring?
I don't know why you're asking me this, honestly, because who am I?
No, I'm just. What do you think?
In my opinion,
we're two nobodies.
True. In my opinion, can't have a national champion. Because unless you divide it up, which still wouldn't even make sense, because they are playing intra-conference games only.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, there's some out-of-conference games in the regular season, whatever, in a regular season, but they're only playing intra-conference games, and now that, as of now, two of the Power 5 conferences are going to play spring, 3 are going to play in the fall, as of now. Okay, what the hell is on my computer screen?
I don't know, dude.
It was a bug, and it just scared me. All right. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do that, you have to have like two different like a fall champion and a spring champion, because
that is something they could do too.
Because you got 3 conferences playing, 2 conferences playing. Okay, well, you're obviously not going to bring the best team out of the fall and the spring to play, because that'd be dumb. So I don't know. I feel like the most logical solution to me is kind of having 2 different champions.
Well, it kind of works
or
out
they could just go back, or they can just go back to the old way of just giving the champion to whoever was the best that year, like in the eyes of the media.
Dude, when we were watching that SMU documentary, and I like told you that's how they did it, I just saw your mind explode. Like
literally did.
You're like, when did they like stop doing? Like, when did they stop doing? I was like 2001. Like,
yeah, that I didn't know that, dude, because I've never really been a college football guy.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was pretty wild, and it literally makes no sense. But
it usually wasn't a big
doesn't.
deal. Like usually, like everything worked out because of the bowl. Because even in the bowl games, like it's not like how they are now. Like the Rose Bowl, always Pac-10, always Big Ten.
Yeah,
and then like so on and so forth. But that's kind of going into that. That's kind of perfect that the Pac-12 and the Big Ten are the 2 teams that aren't playing. Because say they do play in the spring, they can have the Rose Bowl. Like why not? You know?
Yeah.
Like you can have the Rose Bowl, and then if you're a Rose Bowl, like if you're the Big Ten or the Pac-12, and you're the Rose Bowl champ,
kind of like your national champion.
You're like of everybody that played in the spring, that's going to be the best team.
Yeah.
So I feel like
it'd be looked upon like 2 different. That's what you just made me think of that too. Maybe that's why the Pac-12 decided to suspend as well. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely weird.
It's we're living in weird times, dude.
And I didn't put this on our little outline, but recruiting is going to be a mess. Or not recruiting, scouting for like the draft.
Yes.
NFL draft is going to be a mess.
Even if you want to, you talked about recruiting. What it's going to be a crapshoot. Like you know how much track, like okay, the big stars that were juniors, like the top people, they're but you know how much movement happens senior year? It's insane. Like because some of these that barely played as a junior and then they play as a senior like a bunch, like that totally changes. And think about how like your body changes like from junior to senior year too. Like it's gonna be so weird the next few years. But
I agree.
All I know is Ohio State's gonna have a good quarterback, so who cares?
They generally do.
Yeah, dude. I was telling why can't Michigan just have why can't they bring? I know we're talking about Michigan again, but why can't they just have a good quarterback, bro? Like, why is it pulling teeth to have
Well,
Shea
I feel like they
Patterson, the fact that they
always.
got him, they always get these transfers. Like the whole
That's what I was
reason.
gonna say. It seems like they always have, uh, like some quarterback who's hyped up, like, oh, this is gonna be the one, and then never turns out to be that way.
I guess
They
Shea
always play
Patterson's the only
down.
one like that, but Shea Patterson his senior year, the last 6 games of the season, was dropping dimes, dude. Like the throws he was making were insane. Like does like yeah, your defense is good against like Hawaii, but I don't care about that. I don't
How
even
was it
talk
against
about it
Ohio
anymore.
State? Oh yeah, we already talked about it.
I don't even want to. Okay, moving on. NFL, keeping with the football theme. Season's about a month away. Roach, I can
Are
feel
you
the.
excited for football?
I'm honestly I think the place that football has in my like life, there's no NBA, so like it kind of just like fills that void at the time.
Yeah.
So part of me, I'm not gonna be hyped for probably the opening week, like I usually would be. But I mean, yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to watch the Pats. Cam Newton.
Did that Instagram picture of Cam get you going?
I mean, he looked pretty saucy. Not gonna lie.
It looked pretty slick with that all Patriot blue.
Their color rushes are dope. Like underrated jersey in football is their color rushes. They're just so simple. The stripe on the shoulder pad. Come on. How excited are you to watch Packers?
I'm actually really excited because there's just so much drama going on with that team, like in the media, because of who they selected in the draft. And then also the fact that they didn't, and who they didn't select, aka receiver, to
Yeah.
help that anemic receiving core. I don't know how many times you're going to continue to run back a group of receivers who do nothing other outside of Devontae Adams, but at least they have a pretty good running back now. I mean,
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's
um,
that's probably their best running back since Mod Green, right?
yeah, like honestly, and I'm also excited for that drafted another running back. I think in the second round. He looks like a tank, bro. He's gonna be like a LeGarrette Blunt bruiser.
One of my
I
favorite
just
players
know it.
ever.
He's built. He's a big boy. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I want to see how Aaron Rodgers bounces back from all this criticism of him and their draft choice, and
Well,
how you hear it every year. How is Aaron, especially since the whole Mike McCarthy thing went down? How's Aaron Rodgers going to gel with the coach? How's he going to gel with the team? Blah blah blah. They just went 13-3, dude. Their defense is only going to get better. They're playing together more. They're going to be more cohesive, and then offensively, I don't see how you can get worse. They weren't very good last year.
dude, not good, and they were 1 win away from the Super Bowl. So
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. You can like, I just don't see any way run it back with, in my opinion, a slightly improved team, because you really didn't lose that much outside of
yeah, the
maybe Brian
improvement will be
Bulaga,
being another year together.
right? And I'm still holding out hope they sign Antonio Brown just because why not? But I don't think it's gonna happen because they just signed two more, like a 6th-round draft pick from 2 years ago, and then an undrafted receiver who was in Seattle for a couple years. They keep trying to find these diamonds in the rough, but
When was Devonte Adams picked high?
I know he was a 2nd-round pick.
Well, I just I don't follow. There's just so many.
Yeah,
I just
yeah, I only know that because obviously he's on my team.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't say it enough. I am excited. I'm. I just really hope it plays out well.
Well,
I don't want it to be. I'm not used to failure, especially like in the NFL landscape. So I don't want it. I already
well,
had. I already had my down seasons a couple years ago. It's enough.
going back like to Aaron Rodgers and like the criticism he's facing, I feel like a lot of that is like him putting it on himself. Like, why are you doing interviews talking candidly about draft night? You know what I mean? Like, what What do you have to gain?
I don't think he's just doing interviews to talk about draft night.
I'm not saying he is.
He's going on shows. He's being asked.
Yeah.
You're saying the way he responds to the questions?
Clearly, there is a very easy way to just avoid that and just say, I'm happy about Jordan. Like, I can't wait to, you don't have to say you're pouring yourself a glass of tequila and about to down it.
I'm going to say the same thing about the goddamn team because they get asked the same questions about Aaron Rodgers. And instead of just saying, Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback, we look forward to, working together, blah, blah, blah. As easy as that sounds, they say, remember hearing this one quote from LaFleur. He says, Aaron Rodgers is going to be here for a long time. Now, however long that is, I don't know. Well, you just contradicted yourself there, dude. Is he going to be here a long time or is he not? That just adds fuel to the fire. So stop.
Yeah, and I think the LaFleur and Rodgers thing, I feel like they actually kind of butt heads, but they cover that up well. I mean, you bring him in as an offensive guru, and then the Packers kind of lay an egg.
Don't know why he's touted as an offensive guru when he had a 25th. It's because of Sean McVay.
Yeah.
He had a 25th ranked offense in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And what?
And then when he leaves, they have a better offense.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Sean McVay, did you see that ESPN is trying to get him to leave coaching?
What an idiot. What a bunch of idiots.
So stupid. They're so desperate. After Booger embarrassed them last year, they're so desperate.
I actually liked Tessitore last year. I like his voice. He was so good in boxing. That's where that's his big call is boxing, right? But you can't call big boxing fights every week like you can in the NFL. So I'm sure he was like, yeah, I'll do football. But, I mean, he was kind of set up for failure.
Yeah, especially being paired with Booger, dude. First of all, why am I employing a man named Booger? Second, why am I putting him on my flagship primetime show?
I feel like during the screening process of them hiring, they should look at, first off, Booger McFarland's fingers and be like, what's going on there? And then your name's Booger?
Imagine judging a man by his fingers.
Bro, have you seen these things?
Yes.
They're 90 degrees to the right. Oh my god, dude. What? I mean, dude, Monday nights were spent in our apartment just in awe of what was happening.
Or lack of awe.
And
it wasn't awe because I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
The worst football game I've ever seen, Texans Bills. The cherry on top was that it was a Monday Night Football crew game. That was the cherry on top. You got Booger trying to talk about how good Josh Allen is, but I'm seeing him not play well. I'm seeing Joe Tessitore lose his mind whenever there's a run over 10 yards. So, they suck. Fix it.
All I'm saying is you can only go up.
Literally,
yeah. So, to answer the question, I am excited for football. Always will be. However, do you think, and we've kind of touched on this before, but I'm asking you, do you think COVID will ruin the season like the trash LB?
The problem is, everyone's watching the NBA, run off without a hitch. But those are, that's the best you'll get in any league. You know what I mean?
They're bubbled.
But then the NFL is just acting like it's going to be business as usual. It's not going to be business as usual. The MLB's acting like we're just playing with no fans. You've had to cancel 2 series for the Cardinals, one of the most popular teams in the league. Just canceled.
Gosh, LB, bro.
It's
just so tough.
You can miss games in the MLB. You can't miss a week in the NFL.
Yeah, it's so tough these leagues too, just because it was like the perfect storm for basketball because they were about to go into the playoffs
Yeah.
already, and you can literally just put all the teams together for a playoffs. But then to start a whole season, like I don't know how a bubble scenario would have even played out for especially the MLB, considering how much they move. But the NFL even like I don't know. It's just I
I f-
guess it
dude,
avoids a lot of headache, at least in terms of logistics. Like if you're just going to go about everything like you normally do, with the exception of like all the COVID protocols. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some problems, and I'm expecting some games to get canceled.
but like, there's only, like we talked about this last week, 16 games.
I know,
Like,
dude. I know.
I'll tell you how MLB could have done it. You have all these series, bro. You could have clumped like 10. You could have, how many? There's 30 teams, right? You could have clumped
Yeah.
10 teams together at 3 locations, have them play each other a bunch, and then you mix it up.
But do you understand like how much of like they are bubbled in for an
I get
entire
that.
season?
Like, but that's the sacrifice you have to make if you want to make this thing work. That's just how it is. Like,
No, and they're getting paid, so
yes,
a
like
lot of money.
you're
But
making a lot
I
of money.
I saw some people arguing that college football should bubble like their teams and stuff, and I'm like, okay, these are unpaid college athletes, and
That
you're
are going to
expecting them
school.
that are going to school, and you're expecting them to bubble themselves up on campus so they can play football and basically treat it like a job. Like,
And then not
I
get
mean, I
paid
guess
for
that's
it. Cool.
fine if they're getting paid, but they're not. So no, like I don't know. People are so stupid.
They really are, bro. They really are.
Sports media is really stupid a lot of the time.
And
But
that's my major dab.
fix it. Fix it.
I'll be the change that we want. Next thing you know, you'll see me on like some talking head show just saying stupid stuff like, I don't know, Skip. If it comes to that, bro, just kill me. Like I said.
All right, I got two things on the list to kill Stonewall. One, if he excludes a whole section of food from his life, kill him. And then if he sounds like Skip, kill him.
Honestly, like I
I'm
loved
keeping
Skip for a
tabs.
while.
I've always hated Skip.
I did it for like a long time. Did you watch him on First Take? Like when he was
Yes. I didn't like him then either.
I just his dynamic with Stephen A was so good. You know what I mean? But
I mean, it's basically his, in my opinion, his dynamic with Shannon Sharp, except for Shannon Sharp just isn't as ruthless as Stephen A was.
I don't remember Stephen A ever being like. I feel like sometimes Stephen A is mean to Max Kellerman, but he was
Oh
never
yeah.
like that to Skip. I don't think.
Well, I don't think he was like ever mean, but just like he wouldn't let
Yeah.
him like live down any of his stupid points. Any
But
of his stupid.
Stephen A makes stupid points all the time. All right, moving on to the creme de la creme, the main event, the steak and potatoes. The NBA, kind of in a lull. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm just ready for the playoffs to begin.
I don't think like 8 games, probably too many.
Now I
But
think it works. Hey, don't tell the Blazers that, bro.
yeah, I mean, I get how it needed to be about where it is right now for playoff implications, but entertainment wise, half these teams don't care right now, you know. But the teams that do care, crazy basketball, crazy. I mean, if you do, you just want to jump right into it?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Dame
Started the
Dollar,
show last night.
what?
What did the Clippers do, bro? They unleashed a monster on the Lakers.
I mean, you
Oh
gotta
my
look.
gosh.
I'm. This might be hyperbolic, but like, if you just look back at his body of work, he's only been in the league what 7 years, 8 years. It's kind of
Okay.
like all time stuff, like with one franchise. You know, like you're the face of this one. Everyone else is building super teams. Everyone else is doing their own thing. Dame's like, I'm staying in Portland. It's kind of all time stuff. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's insane, but what do you think?
it is pretty crazy. I mean, looking back, he's consistently been in the playoffs since at least what, 13, 14?
Yeah. I mean, they've
Consistently
been
in the
in it,
playoffs,
yeah.
consistently has huge moments in the playoffs. Consistently carries this franchise to whatever heights Harry Stotts can create with that roster. I
I mean,
mean,
if I'm if I'm like if I was like a Portland fan and I've always been a Portland fan and I have Dame on my team, dude, I don't think that's somebody. If you defend like this is the best player in the league, can't tell me otherwise. I think he's reached like Allen Iverson level of like fandom as a person, like in a crappy ish. You know, he's never gonna win a title if with this iteration of Blazers. But he's
yeah,
always gonna be competitive, always gonna be like a fan favorite,
always produce big moments. He's always gonna
always gonna go
produce.
crazy.
Yeah, he's always gonna perform. Like, yeah, I get you. I get what you mean.
Like
100%.
Allen Iverson, not one of the 10 best players ever. But when people go back, like player of the early 2000s, Allen Iverson's one of the first names mentioned. Like, and like one of the most influential players ever. Allen Iverson's one of those people.
Yeah.
I think Dame's hit that level.
Honestly, I think it's kind of crazy it's taken this long for him to hit this level. Because I personally, like, I'd say even 3 years ago, 3 years ago,
I agree.
I think he should be getting the respect he's barely just now getting.
He was all NBA. He was all NBA first team.
I know.
Like, that's crazy.
I saw something, I think, on Bleacher Report. It said Dame has hit like one name status. I was like, he's always been Dame.
He's always been Dame. No, he's one of the people. One of the few people. He's two name status. Dame DOLLA. Like, no one else is like that.
Yeah.
That he's in his own echelon. 61? 61.
Bounce,
and you hit the game winner.
That bounce, though.
I mean, that's a shooter's like, you earned that. You earned that role. Like, I just don't understand when Pat Beverly and like Marcus Morris were on the sidelines, like dogging him. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Your team can be successful while you're not even dressed.
Yeah. Literally, dude.
While you're not even dressed. You're chilling in a mask on the sidelines. Like, put some respect on that name.
And not only that, but like Dame was saying in his post-game interview, he sent Patrick Beverly home. He sent
your
Paul
ass
George
packing.
home. And you're gonna sit there and then, like, yeah, like he said, they know what he can do. And when he doesn't do that,
it's like
they look shove it in his face.
Like, this is the one time we're gonna get to do it. We got to do it. Like
if anything, they just made themselves look like clowns because literally no one backed what they said.
Exactly. Like, even
except for Skip.
Okay.
Except for Skip.
He missed those 2 free throws. Not ideal. But that, like I always say, that is an anecdotal, like that is the 20% of everything that could happen. Like, not even, that was like a 2% chance that he probably misses those 2 free throws in crunch time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
How can he is the most clutch player of the last 10 years. That is, write that down. That could be a quote.
I agree.
Like, if
I can't think of anybody who's produced like him, dude.
You can't.
And it's just crazy.
Like Kawhi, I mean, not even. Kawhi had that one role. I mean, name another Kawhi clutch moment like that.
Yeah.
Can't. Just time after time, Dame delivers, dude. I'm just so happy that he is like, it was the perfect storm. Like, if this bubble doesn't happen, he probably isn't gonna be like put on this level by the public. I think next year, if you ask random people on the street who's your favorite player in the NBA, Damian Lillard is going to come up more times than not.
I mean, yeah, like I'm gonna sound like a broken record, dude, but he's been one of my favorite players in the league for a long time.
I'll never
You
forget.
know, the real ones know, not
Mhm.
the casual simps.
It was one of the years that the Blazers got the Warriors in the first round. It was like one of the historic Warriors teams. It was before they got KD though. But Jeff Van Gundy's like, if you switch Dame and Steph, there's not going to be a lot of difference in their team success. And this was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and I even at the time I was like, he's probably right. If you put Dame on the Warriors, I mean, he probably has 3 rings. Like, he might have won an MVP.
Oh, I think he would have won a Finals MVP.
I think he would have won a league MVP.
Really? League MVP?
Yes, if he is on those Warriors teams and he gets the green light, says you can shoot from anywhere, this team is yours. Why not?
So nasty, bro.
But the thing is, there was no growing pains like for him coming in the league. He was immediate. It translated immediately.
He ended a series his second year in the league. Think about that.
He was screaming
Third
for that
year in the
ball,
league.
dude. He was like, "Give me the ball." I mean, some people
Give me
just
the
built
ball, it's
different.
Dame.
Some people just built different, and Dame's different. And that's all I think we've said enough.
I'm different. Yeah, I'm different.
He said he's not doing this unless there's a real shot they make the playoffs. They only need to win one game in the play-in. That's crazy. Think about where we were 3 weeks ago talking about I did not think the Blazers. I've got to admit, I did not think the Blazers would be doing this.
Go back and quote me on a pod from a couple weeks ago. I said the Blazers would do this.
I mean, it's one like you just can't predict something like this. I don't like. I know you did. It's even with my Luka thing.
You're right. I didn't predict Dame doing what he's doing, but I predicted the team would be in the position.
But I don't feel confident about anybody else really on that team. Nurk is probably the most confident I feel about anyone else other than Dame.
McCollum is playing with a slip disc in his back, bro.
I get that, but that's part of it, you know? Of this,
I don't know. Melo had a great night yesterday. Gary Trent's been looking good.
Yeah, but I think I get he dropped 61. That's against the Mavs, dude. Like, they're not playing defense. That's part of what last night's stats are. Like, I don't think Melo's going to get 26 in a playoff series. If he does, hopefully, I want him to. If 2 weeks from now, Melo goes off against the Lakers, that's crazy. But, I mean, I don't know about you. I want to see the Suns, Blazers playing.
Oh, yeah, dude. The Suns 7-0, dude. Who would have thought?
I mean, people were saying they shouldn't have been invited.
I said that.
Like,
How stupid
I probably
I
said that too. I don't even know. But, I mean, I remember 22 teams. I'm like, really? You're going to invite the Suns? Like, they don't have the Spurs? But, I mean, I don't think you can predict the catastrophic collapse that is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, I know. It's the injury, for one, just kind of hurts. Yeah, that injury was kind of huge. But even when those couple games they'd played with him, I don't know. I think, good. And I think it's just a tribute, like a big attribute of like the young team. But they just, it was just a weird scenario for them, weird situation to be in, and yeah, that makes sense to me. I just had high hopes for them.
But yeah, I mean, you would hope that they bounce back. Yeah, the Pelicans.
I knew the Pelicans weren't doing nothing, but I don't know. The Grizzlies, I feel like, they're on the track, the inside track to next season.
So this is what I think has to happen for the Suns to get in. They have to win for sure. This is crazy. I think if they win, they don't even. I think if the Grizzlies win, they're in.
Yeah, the Grizzlies would have to lose,
and then the Suns have to win. But I think something else has to happen too. Like I think the
Suns have to win, and then I thought it was the Suns have to win, and then either Portland or Memphis loses, or the
Yeah,
Suns
yeah,
lose
yeah,
and both lose.
yeah.
The other two have to lose.
But no matter in any of those scenarios, the Suns have to win,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, D Book, come on. I think Draymond's kind of, Draymond said that he needs to get out of Phoenix. I think that's kind of not. I don't think that's right.
I mean, that's totally a Draymond thing to say, though.
Yeah, I get he just wanted to be a headline because, I mean, we saw what he was as the best player in the Warriors. Nothing. I mean, people were saying during the Warriors run, if I'm going to start a team, I want to start it with Draymond.
No.
That sounds so silly
I
now.
don't understand how someone would ever want to say that.
People are so stupid.
I mean, yeah, he was a good player. I'm not going to knock him, but
Yeah, if
he's
he
still
12,
I don't know
10,
if
and
he
10,
still
that's
is.
good.
Yeah, I don't know if he still is a good player, but he was good for what he was. He was great for what he was. Not gonna lie.
Defensive
Even
player of
though
the
I,
year. I mean, he
even
showed
though
up game 7. What were you going to say?
great game 7. To say like I haven't always, and it's the same. It's just that Warriors team, dude. They gave me PTSD for so long, but I was never really a fan of a lot of those players outside of like Klay Thompson. But I still appreciate, like looking back, I appreciate how they played, like how good they were. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
But yeah, so the Blazers are cracked. Well, Dame's cracked,
Well,
and the
I'm gonna keep going
Blazers.
about the Suns situation
Oh,
before
okay.
we move on. Ayton has played insane in the bubble. I think that's something that's been overshadowed by D Book. I mean, rightfully so. D Book's the star of the team, but DeAndre Ayton. I mean, I get that you didn't pick Luka, and that's just gonna hang over your head. But at the time, I thought DeAndre Ayton was a solid. Like, I thought that was a safer bet, and I think he's playing well.
Oh, I also think it fits better with the team. I
It
mean, I
does,
get
but I get
Luka would still
if you
fit
have
with
the
that team.
if you got the number 1 pick, you don't pick for fit. You know what I mean? Like, he would
Right,
have
but
figured it out.
it's not like it was like you just said. It's not like it was really a bad pick. It was a good pick that also fit.
Yeah, I mean, which is what they wanted, but at the same time, Luka's there. You got to take him. I'll just always
I
think
mean,
that,
yeah, looking back,
dude. At the time, I'm not the only person that thought Luka was going to be the best player in that draft by a mile. You know, like there are people out like Mark Cuban thought this. Like when he traded up, he thought he was getting by far the best talent in the draft. I think a
bro,
lot of people thought that.
all I'm saying, yeah, you can think Luka is going to be great, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, that was the
Can't
safer pick.
You cannot tell me you expected him to be a top 5 MVP his second year in the league.
Obviously not.
Okay.
But I thought he was going to be an MVP in this league. I did not think DeAndre Ayton was going to be an MVP. I thought he was going to be a good player. I mean, I feel like that's what you're going for in the draft most times. You're going for a player that can contribute to your team for the next 10 years.
Yes.
That is a win, an absolute win. But when obviously you had to roll the dice with Luka, and the Suns didn't want to because, the thing. But I think Luka and D Book would have fit because this year's a perfect example. Ricky Rubio is the reason this team's playing well because D Book gets the playoff ball. Ricky Rubio's running everything, and Ricky Rubio's the dog.
Yeah, honestly, kind of underrated. Actually, very underrated in my opinion.
Well, he just had a weird career trajectory because he goes toe to toe.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, he goes toe to toe against the U.S. in the gold medal game. Like he looks like he's 17,
mm-hmm.
and he's playing really well with the Gasol brothers, but I think the expectations were so that was one of the first drafts I kind of remember. And I thought Ricky Rubio was going to be one of the best players in the league. I mean, that shows you how wrong you can be on these things sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely cool, like, seeing that, it's it's validation for why they were invited.
Mm. It really is. Like I bet Adam Silver is so happy.
I mean, yeah, his Pride and Joy Pelicans didn't do anything, so
True. But that's the thing. This bubble is making stars.
and
Every,
that's actually okay, yeah, so we'll touch on that a little bit later, but that is something I did wanna bring up too.
okay.
But we keep talking about teams.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see Giannis's headbutt?
Against my boy Mo Wagner. What are
Come
we
on,
doing?
dude. Why are you picking on the little guy? I actually just saw here today that is getting suspended for that last regular season game.
Ooh.
Not like it was
He could have been suspended for the whole first
important.
round, bro. It wouldn't have mattered.
Now it would have mattered on ratings, TV ratings, but
No one's gonna watch the Bucks
team
series.
wise,
To be
I
honest.
agree. Yeah.
No one's gonna watch them beat on the Nets.
Oh, Bucks fans will.
Dude, Bucks fans they're different, bro. Like they just feel like they're always disrespected, but like you have done nothing to prove that you're an upper echelon team. Like I get you have Giannis, but he choked last year. Simple and plain.
Really did, dude. They were up 2-0. Really
Like
did.
if that's LeBron, he's on a cross. Like it's insane. Anyway, Giannis headbutt, he's gone.
He's
Tough
gone
night for
a
Michigan
game.
men that night
Really,
because
dude.
Trey
Luka,
Burke.
or not? Why did I say Luka? I meant Trey Burke.
Because I
Trey
hold
Burke
Trey
with the
Burke on the
charge.
same level of Luca in my heart.
Trey Burke with the tough charge after Finney hit the open shot.
And
That would have put
then
them up.
Hardaway Jr. breaks it against the side of the backboard.
It was a tough night for the Michigan
And
guys.
then Mo Wagner gets headbutted. Leave them alone.
It's such a Michigan thing, dude.
To what? Fail? I know. To fail on the highest stage, I agree. God.
But yeah, so kind of playing into that whole little Bucks scenario, I've been hearing a lot of talk about how the Lakers and Bucks, the top team in each conference, look vulnerable and how it looks like everyone, and it makes sense why, because they're the top teams, but everyone's poking at how are these teams going to go down, like why they're going to go down before they'll make the finals or whatever.
Do you not think they're valid points? Or
No,
like,
I'm asking you if you think they are.
I mean, yeah. What this bubble has shown, I think, is like Lakers don't have their shit together. The Bucks don't really have their shit together. Like,
Literally.
but all these other teams are kind of figuring out their own thing. Like, there are teams that know what they're gonna do. Like, these teams are building. Other teams have to play to their style. Like the Rockets, the Mavs, the Raptors. Like they got smacked against the Celtics, but you can get smacked in a series. You know, like
Yeah,
even the
sure.
Suns, they're playing their own style. But the Lakers, I don't know what. I just don't understand what is happening. Like,
I wish I could tell you too.
why?
My basketball knowledge is not nearly on the level of yours.
Okay,
And
when
if you can't understand, then yeah, it's
there
a crapshoot.
when AD is on the floor by himself, he just sometimes he just disappears. Like LeBron isn't there to like him and LeBron play together amazing. When AD, but it's like their highs are only when they're together, like on the floor. When they're separate, I don't know. Like LeBron's force feeding people buckets, but they're not making them. Like Danny Green's only hitting 18% of open threes.
That is the one thing that, yeah, you can be concerned about it because you don't want it to continue, but that's something that's like low on the concern level for me. Like at some point they're going to start hitting shots.
You'd hope.
They have to, right? Like that's your thought. Like they have to. They're not gonna be that dry for that long. That's That just doesn't make sense to me. But like you're saying, especially on the AD side when he's on the floor by himself, they are missing Rondo so much right now
That is true.
because they have no one else who can facilitate the ball or run the offense.
That
And
what
yeah, I guess when AD's in the game, like you said, if he's not disappearing, he's just constantly getting double teamed. And like yeah, he can pass a little bit, but
Yeah, he's a good
he's
playmaker,
not
but
running the offense.
if he's throwing like I said, Caruso's cool when he's your 10th best player, not cool when he's supposed to be your 5th best player. Like that's a
Probably one of my favorite
problem.
quotes by you.
Like I just Rondo, I get his like plus minus this season wasn't good, but playoff Rondo's a thing. That's a real thing. So like if you just that's a whole nother ball handler. Like, okay, I'm tired of hearing this thing like Kuzma needs to be the 3rd best player. He hit that big shot against the Nuggets. Great.
First
But
of
that's
all,
not the player
Nuggets didn't
you
even
want to
play
be
their
your 3rd best
starters in the
player.
fourth. The Nuggets didn't even play their starters in the fourth quarter, and it still took a Kuzma game winner.
Yeah. And in that, I mean, that's perfect for Frank. Great job by Frank Vogel because that game doesn't matter. You're still playing the Nuggets. Like at the end of the day, when they go to the locker room, they beat the Nuggets. If you
Yeah.
draw that play up for Kuzma, get him some like confidence going into the playoffs, huge. And he's been playing well in the bubble, but that's the thing. I feel like him playing well is like detrimental to the whole team. Like
I
the
don't know about
opportunities
that.
he's getting, I feel like are hindering what is going on. Just like
I think
offensively.
I'm not trying to look into it too much just because, like, that deep, because Frank Vogel said he's experimenting with lineups and stuff.
Yeah.
As you've seen some weird lineups from them, especially the past couple games that are out on the floor together.
Markeith at the
And I think,
5. Love that.
when playoff time comes, they're just gonna go with what works the best.
Yeah. Like
So, and then hopefully
Jared Dudley's not going to sniff the
adjust from
floor.
there. No, he's not. Neither is J.R. Smith.
Which is kind of crazy because if I feel like most people, if you ask them who's gonna like play, like who's gonna be benched, who's gonna play, Deion Waiters or J.R. Smith, I feel like most people have said J.R. Smith. I know the Untitled Pod we have a residency on Waiters Island, so we knew that was gonna happen.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of been liking Deion.
He's a dog. Okay. The problem is though he's a shot creator. Like he's not gonna. You can't run the offense through him. That's
Right.
another problem. Like I don't know, man. Like
That's what I'm saying. They picked up this guard talent, but they're not the
it's
type of
different.
guard talent they need.
It's different from what you had at the end of the day. And what you
And
had,
they're missing Avery Bradley so much, dude.
it's not even.
You just put him on their best offensive 1 through 3.
And I know we
Like,
talked about the Blazers a lot, but I'm concerned if that's the 1-8. I'm just saying, like I'm not confidently saying
who's
that.
guarding Dame?
Exactly.
Who's gonna guard Dame?
You're gonna have to throw LeBron on him, I think, but he's not gonna want to do that.
No way.
I mean,
No
that's your
way.
best option. Like I know Kuzma, they try to make him seem like he's a good defender. He's not. I see him get beat every night so many times. Like,
Hey, he'd be a starter on any other team, dude, but he's just playing behind 2 the best players in the league.
what kind of ass backwards logic is that?
Kuzma's. Direct quote.
Dude, I'd start on the Wizards. Cool. A ham sandwich could start on the Wizards. A literal inanimate object could play big minutes on the Wizards. Like
A
what?
ham sandwich, bro.
Oh my god.
I haven't laughed like that in the pod ever.
I don't. So, what is going through your head going into the playoffs? What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking what I just thought earlier. Like, it's the bubble regular season, the standing games, whatever. LeBron is not in the playoffs, and I've seen this man do so much less.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll judge, based on how that first round goes. Maybe not even the first round because that first round with that Cleveland team in 2018 was kind of tough. And then they just kind
Yeah,
of they rolled through that second round.
because
And then they had another tough against
Bogdanovich is a good matchup against him. Not gonna lie.
and there's another tough Western Conference Finals, but he did it. Like I'm just not ever counting him out ever.
Yeah,
And
neither am I.
we can
But
talk about LeBron all day, dude.
it's not. I feel like
Literally
this is
just can.
different than like when the people were saying the Raptors were going to beat Celtics. Like, it's not
I think the
like,
competition's definitely a lot stiffer.
yeah, he's in the West at the end of the day. Like, okay, you, say you beat the Trailblazers first round, you're facing the winner of at this current juncture, Rockets Thunder. I mean, he's grinding the whole playoffs. He's not gonna be able to take
Yeah, he
like
is. He's taking no rounds off, barring any injuries, no rounds off. And even if there are injuries, probably still no rounds off because those
like
teams are loaded.
even that Celtics series a couple years ago. I felt like he was in control. You know what I mean? The Pacers series, I felt like he was in control. Like at the end of the day, he was the best player on the floor. But those Eastern Conference teams, I've always felt like, especially when LeBron was playing, were very superstar centric. The West has always been just good team.
Yeah.
Always since like the 2000, like since the year 2000.
And
So
dude, like, I mean, just reiterating the point, their first round matchup for the Lakers likely a Western Conference Finals team from last year.
yeah, the
That's
Blazers
just
have been
mind
playing like a
blowing.
3 seed. Like this
If they were
Blaze,
healthy all season, they wouldn't be in the position they're in
no,
now.
not at all. Which
But
is crazy.
yeah, I don't know. I I'm good on the Lakers. I don't know if there's anything else you want to bring up.
No, I mean,
I'll literally talk about them for another hour.
who
So
who's
you're like,
been an underrated, like not like the D books, the Dames. Like, what's one player that you're like, I I'm when I'm looking at a matchup, I'm like, I want to watch him play.
watch what player would I want to watch play
Yeah,
outside of
like
those guys?
kind of underrated. Like
Well, I'll tell you, if I'm being dead ass right now, dude,
Daras?
dead ass, I'm gonna pick Victor Oladipo
Really?
on the Pacers. Yeah, dude, he's been playing pretty well. You gotta remember, Siri, shut up. You gotta remember the injury he went through, and he's been playing pretty well, working his way back in the bubble. And he's on the same team as TJ Warren, who I know has been hot, but I've always liked Oladipo. I think he's just, he's had some
Weird
growing
career.
pains. Yeah, growing pains throughout his career. But I really hope we can see like a return to form for him. Hopefully in the first, maybe not in the first round, but I don't know, some like flashes of that brilliance he was showing. I really like him, and he's been playing well. So yeah, he's definitely not getting any news coverage, but in my mind, I'm excited to watch him.
Ready for mine?
Yeah,
Jamal
let's go.
Crawford. No, I'm playing. Um,
I would have honestly believed you.
no. Shea Gilders-Alexander's definitely been
I was gonna say him too, but
like it's eye opening. Like this season, he was so good, but I don't know if I just like forgot or like everyone talks about Chris Paul. I mean Gallinari. Have you become a believer yet? Have you watched these Thunder games? Gallinari's insane, but definitely
yeah,
SGA. Like
I'll have to concede. Okay, maybe he's not as worthless as I thought he was, but I'm still holding out that he's worthless, if that
well,
makes sense.
the the
I have
biggest
to be right.
the biggest knock on his career is that he's always been kind of just like thrown into these trades. So then like he seems kind of devout, like he's not worth anything because he's just like kind of tossed in. But I've always loved Gallo. Like he was tossed in the Carmelo trade, Paul George trade. Like I'm just a fan. Always have been. And that Thunder team, dude, Thunder's Rockets. I mean, hold on to your butts, dude. Like, that's a crazy
It
matchup.
Yeah, it really is, and it's also just crazy because, Russ and Harden playing against
Yeah.
their former team, like, that
And
honestly,
Chris, if
you can't
Chris
match that up any
Paul
better.
beats them, that's such a big fu to Daryl Morey.
It
Like,
literally
you
is, and
thought Russell
honestly, I
Westbrook
think
was
they
better
can
than me? I think so too.
that Thunder team is so sneaky good. Isn't it crazy at the beginning of the season we're talking about them trading Chris Paul away?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I know it made sense at the time, but, like, just looking back that they've come that far is just mind-blowing.
even I think their thought process, we're gonna play him this year. We're probably gonna trade him next year. I don't think you can trade him anymore. I think he's so like pivotal to SGA's development that you just can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
you
mean, he'll be happy
agree.
to especially after this year, I think he'll be more than happy to stay.
And that was the thing too. I don't think he wanted to be there. But then I think him and SGA, their chemistry is just so good, and I don't think anybody could have foreseen that. Like, yeah, it'll be cool when if he learns under him, but it's not like SGA ball dominant point guard going into all this. He plays so well off the ball. It's crazy. Like, no one knew he was that kind of player. And
I want a Gilgeous Alexander jersey. Xavier still doesn't have one, so
really, you
I'm
can
gonna have to
sneak
jump his
one in.
boat.
Yeah. And I think Chris Paul looks dope in blue, if I'm gonna be honest.
He really does. I mean, we already knew this, but
Yep.
that Thunder blue's a little different.
Oh, okay. I guess we can talk about the Sixers. I forgot I wrote that in the notes real quick.
If I'm the Sixers, I'm trading Simmons and Embiid and restarting.
You're stupid. But I mean, is that actually something you feel like if they did
Dude,
that, would you be like, good move?
I'd be like, what else are you gonna do? Because you're not gonna play every season with one of the two getting hurt and not doing anything and just being
That's
stuck in purgatory.
one of the two getting hurt. This is like the only time it's happened at this level
No,
of being out for the
Embiid's
season.
okay. Embiid's been hurt every single season in some form or
That's
shape.
just the player he's gonna be. That's how some of these players are, bro. If you're hurt like for 2 weeks, every month, like
If you're hurt every playoffs,
who? When?
Embiid.
When? Last
He's
year?
been hurt the past 3 playoffs.
Okay, he may have a nagging injury, but who doesn't? I mean, he's playing 100 and some game. Like that's what he's expected to go deep in the playoffs. He's gonna have some
He's
injuries.
not playing 100. The dude
No,
plays
I'm
like
not saying he is, but that's like there's 100 possible games for him to play. If he plays like 80 of those, you're pretty happy.
But he's not. He's playing like more like 50 of them.
That's not true. 50? Stop. He's playing 50% of his possible games. That's not true. And you think the best thing for that Sixers team is to blow up and trade them both? Not even keep one of them?
If I'm keeping one, I'm keeping Simmons. Just because he's slightly younger. And I just think he has, I mean, cats out this one, whatever. I don't even know what the saying is.
Cat's out of the
I'm not good
bag.
with words. Cats out of the bag. I don't think either of them are dogs. They don't have the mentality.
I mean, okay. I just don't think
How does
you
Embiid
remember.
not dominate? How does Embiid not dominate night in, night out? Please tell me.
Because he wants to be a perimeter. He sees Porzingis shooting a bunch of threes. He wants to be like him.
That's fine. You can do that. Like, you can still back people down and bang. And
I get that.
why aren't you? Should be able to.
I agree.
Have that mindset, and then
He's the
you
most
can also do
frustrating
it from
player in the
perimeter.
league.
You can also do it from the perimeter, dude. You don't want to like, oh, dude. Oh, it just pisses me off.
He's the most frustrating player in the league. I agree.
And then Simmons is the exact opposite. You're practicing all these threes. Should be shooting from the perimeter. Should be taking these, mid-range jump shots that you've been practicing that you're apparently getting a lot better at, but you don't see it in the game. All you want to do is stand, play dunk ball.
Dunk ball. I mean, okay. I don't think you remember how low the lows were. Like, They fought so hard to get into a position to compete. They're
But
not
those
going to
lows
do
were by
that.
design.
I understand that, but they still happened. Like, they were still winning 12 games a year. Like, that stuff was still happening. Like, the fan base still had to go through that. The ownership still had to go. They still had to lose 70 games in a year. Like, that still had to happen. Like, you don't want to go back to that.
Saying who's the moron that chose to do that? Oh yeah, he's out of town.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a real reason he's not. Sam Hinkie's not anywhere.
Yeah, that's why he's
Like,
blacklisted.
okay, you hit on 2 of your million picks, like, and then like Simmons clear cut number 1. Embiid kind of fell into their lap. Like, you had so many picks and you just didn't do anything with them.
Okay, coming out of college too, though, like no one expected Embiid to be that good.
I mean, okay,
Especially how quickly he
his
was.
upside was that the level that he's at right now. But again, I mean, injuries. But where we're at now with Embiid and where we were is so much better, like injury wise.
I agree.
Same with
it has
Simmons.
gotten slightly better.
Simmons didn't play his first year. It's not as big of a deal as I think.
I just think it's frustrating to me, and I'm tired of it.
So I think the real like downfall of Simmons getting injured, they can't really do anything with this information that's going to happen in this playoffs. It was tainted information anyway because you're in a bubble, but now it's like compounded because one of your best players isn't there. Like your best players.
Yeah, they wanted to judge like kind of how they'd go about
Yes.
this upcoming off season, what they do with the team, and now do you got to run it back again? Because
you have to.
And honestly, I think if they did, they'd be a lot better than they were this season.
Yeah, I mean,
But
okay, and even last year, the fact that they were a roll away from being the NBA champions.
Yeah.
Like, and the big outlier is Jimmy Butler being there. I mean, looking back, you might like in the span of history, them not bringing him back is probably just like, what are you doing?
Well, and I can't even think like it was. I think so. It was pretty much just Jimmy not.
They didn't even ask him. They didn't even give him a.
They didn't even consider. So it's not like he just said, "I don't want to be there." They didn't even consider bringing.
They didn't want him back.
Okay, if I'm them, why would I give that money to Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler?
Exactly. It's not like you didn't give that money. Like, it's not like that money was bankrolled. You gave it away.
You gave it to Tobias Harris, who I'm reconsidering for worst contract in the league.
I mean, I think John Wall has that spot pretty, but Tobias Harris is up there.
But that's circumstances out of his control. He got hurt.
Yes.
Tobias Harris is literally just making that contract look worse and worse.
Which is crazy because, like,
no,
where was he getting that money from? Who was giving him that deal?
From those 40 games he played with the Clippers when he shot like 40% from 3, that's pretty much it.
I mean, when Tobias Harris was with the Magic, when he was at the Pistons, loved him. Was a big fan. But he's not max contract money player. Like, he's cool if you get him for $15 million.
He's showing you why he's not as well.
Like he's cool if he has Gallo money. Like, that's cool. I mean, Gallo's still making like upper 20 millions, but
honestly, I'd probably say Gallo's better than that. Honestly, he is better than that, dude.
I mean, he's more versatile. Yeah. But like, where does Jimmy Butler could take over? Tobias Harris isn't going to take over. I don't know. And the excuse for Tobias Harris last year was that he was the 4th best player after he was the first. Like, he was the first best. Like, he was the best player on that Clippers team. That's why he was putting up those numbers. That's why he was shooting for it. But when he was given the ball last year, he wasn't doing anything. So if
I guess
I'm,
we'll really see the true test right here if Embiid is out for an extensive amount of time in this first round.
I mean,
Let's see what
if I'm the Sixers, I'm not even rushing him back.
I know.
I think it's a
I'm
wash
just
anyway.
let's see what you got, Tobias Harris. And if you really want to fix all these problems, just get rid of Brett Brown. Like
But
I've
that's
seen
the
enough.
thing, bro. If I'm
I've
Brett
seen
Brown,
enough from Brett Brown.
I
I've
feel
seen
so
enough from him.
secure. This is the best
Okay,
case scenario
but
for
he
Brett Brown.
shouldn't be. I know it is, but he shouldn't be. If I'm the Sixers management, I'm Elton Brown. I'm
Brand.
getting Brand, whatever. I'm getting rid of Brett Brown, dude. You've seen enough. You saw enough last year.
I know. Dude, you're telling am
Preaching to the
literally
choir.
I'm the George Washington of the fire Brett Brown boat. Stonewall crossing the Delaware. I'm holding up a flag with Brett Brown's face and a slash through it. Get him out.
I just don't know why they're so committed to him, man.
It's because he was there at the tail end of them sucking. And
I don't care.
he's a part of the pop coaching tree. Like, I don't think if he's I just think that no one, like, you have to be a 1%er to figure out what to do with them beating, like how to make that work. Because like I said before, that's worst case scenario for both of them as a pair to have a star. Would you agree?
Yeah, essentially
A
doing the
passive
same
center
things.
and a paint oriented guard.
Yeah.
Like, worst case scenario.
Just flip their mentalities. That's all you got to do.
Literally. But that's the thing. I think Embiid is playing like that to try to accommodate
In
Simmons.
part, yeah.
But like you're not. You're just making it worse.
Facts.
Anyway, I don't even know. All right. Who's your bubble MVP? Let's just one name. Bubble MVP. Actually, do your top 3. Dame.
Okay.
Dame number
Top
1.
3, I'm going Dame, Booker, and TJ Warren.
I mean, to be honest, dude, I'd completely agree.
100%.
I mean, I think
Dame's got his team in the 8th seed right now. He's been going off consistently throughout these seeding games. Same with Booker, 7-0. Game winner over Kawhi
and Paul George
and Paul George.
well,
Doesn't get better than that. And then TJ Warren just putting up an ass ton of points.
all right, all bubble team. Dame point guard.
Put those 3 on my all bubble team.
I agree.
And then honestly, it's tough. I'll put Porzingis on there.
Yeah.
As my whatever you want to say, 4 or 5. And then
I agree.
help me out.
Um
We're looking for a Porzingis could play 4 or 5.
yeah, so we're basically looking for whatever on. Dude. I don't know, man. I don't even know.
I'm trying to think.
Giannis
I'm just
didn't
trying to
play
make sure I'm not
enough.
missing anybody. Yeah, I agree. And Anthony Davis has been too consistent. He had 2 big games. Other than that, honestly, I'm
I'm down to
my
kind of put
bases
Ayton in there.
still. Put 8 in. I was thinking Itch.
Yeah. But he didn't play, like, I don't know. Some of these people aren't playing.
Yeah, it's true. Even though he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
In his time. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody who's, deserves it.
I agree.
Ayton has been playing better, but I don't know if I'd put him on my all bubble team.
Yeah. There's levels to it. I mean, we can honestly throw Luka. I mean, he's still been going crazy. Luka move everybody down. So, like, it'd be Dame, Luka, Booker, TJ. TJ can play. Okay.
Yeah, send it.
Week 2, bubble team. Got Dame DOLLA coming at the point. Doncic playing the 2. D-Book playing the small forward. He can do that. He's a little small, but... Or we can have Doncic play the 3. Yeah, Booker 2, Doncic 3. TJ Warren playing power forward. Porzingis playing the 5. That's a squad.
Porzingis, dude. I feel like nobody's really paying attention to him just because Luka's there. Even though he's still going absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
In almost every single game he's playing in.
Yeah.
Like,
insane.
We always say it, how easy they forget. This dude was
they forget, dude.
A bona fide stud before he got hurt. And he started working his way back, and he is he's better than he was before.
I'll ask, why doesn't Porzingis have the label of being injury prone? You know what I mean?
Got hurt once.
No, he got hurt his rookie year too. He missed almost forever.
Okay, look. That was his rookie year. I'm not holding Embiid's rookie year against him. I'm holding these nagging injuries that keep him out of playoff games against him.
Porzingis is another guy. His hand's hurt. He's not going to play this game.
Porzingis tore his ACL.
Okay, but then he has these little nagging injuries.
He's come back.
It's so... You people do this. You just slap a label on players. Injury prone. Forever. AD just got out of that, dude. He played like 4 straight years. People are still saying they're worried about his being injury prone. I'm sick of this. Let's end injury prone culture and just stop it. Except for D-Rose. He
didn't get hurt this year, did he?
No.
Breaking barriers.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we're good for this week. What about you? I mean, I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of basketball. Really, that's what's going on right now.
I mean,
but
good job by us.
Dude, come on. I just feel like, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but you're just kind of flowing, dude.
Yeah, I feel like we're just in a groove. All right, well, I guess that's enough for the Untitled Podcast for this week. Coachine, say your goodbyes.
Bye.
I mean, I'm telling you guys, we're going to get a nasty beat to end the pod. Eventually, we're going to nasty beat to start the pod.
Not going to lie, Zave is whacking.
Not going to lie.
Spending too much time with his girlfriend before she leaves for school tomorrow.
What a nut. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.